Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azri bin Hanafi and I'm from N4 CS 2486B. So today, me, myself and my group members will explain about our final year project titled Leaf Pattern Generated by Bezier Curve and NB1 Curve. My group members consist of 3 people. So the first one is me myself, Muhammad Azri bin Hanafi. The second one is Syaris Izwan bin Syari, which is from N4S 2486B. And the last one is Muhammad Alif Aiman bin Muhammad Zamri, which is from N4CS 2486B2.
First of all, let's jump into the background of the research. So in mathematics, the curve is an abstract phrase used to describe the path of continuously moving point. There are a lot of open curves such as parabolas, hyperbolas and spiral, and they have endless length. So to relate with our study, we choose leaf as our subject and to obtain the curve. So why we choose a leaf? Actually, leaves are photosynthetic organs, which is their shape and their size have a significant impact on plant survival. The more wider the surface of the leaf, therefore the more amount of sunlight can be absorbed to produce the oxygen. So by using Bezier curve, the curve will be smoother, especially when the shape of the leaf is complex. Next, we move to the problem statement. So in this study, we found that there are 2 problem statements exist here, which is most of researchers have less interest in designing the shape of the leaf because they think that the shape of the leaf is simple and not challenging as other geometrical shapes. And then the other one is the existing research have not much information about the perfect shape of the leaf. Therefore, we need to read a lot and find a lot of articles doing research about the characteristic of the leaf in order to obtain the result. Okay, we are moving on to the objective of the study. Okay, the objective of the study is to generate Bezier curve for different degrees in generating leaves. And then we need to identify the best degree to represent the leaves based on Bezier and NB1 curve. What is the significance of the study? So the significance of the study is basically about what we can give to people by doing our research. So Bezier curve and surfaces give a lot of advantages to many researchers in many fields. So this study will provide a useful information in order to educate people about the leaf. Like I said before, the characteristic of the leaf, which is the thickness of the leaf, the size of the leaf, the surface of the leaf. We want to educate people and want people know more about the leaf. And then we want to identify the perfect shape of the leaf generated by the Bezier curve and NB1 curve, and we want to make the comparison which curve give us the better understanding to the leaf of its characteristics. Scope of the study. So the aim is to study and generate the 2D curve of the leaf by using degree 2 until degree 4, and then we pick the understory layer plan, which is the tree that is not very high and easy to pick the leaf. And then the leaf have been selected are Citrus hystrix, Ficus microcarpa and Pisonia grandis. However, we found difficulties in doing our research, which is the first one is the permission of the owner of the plants for allowing us to pick the leaf that's suitable for our study. And then the other limitation is that the condition or structure of the leaf are quite challenging. So the good structure will lead to a great 2D curve. Now we are going to proceed on the literature review. So in this study, we can classify our literature review into 3 phases, which is the first one is the background theory, the second one is the specific case of Bezier curve, and the last one is the application. So for the background theory, we are focusing on the Bezier curve, which is invented in 1962 by French engineer, which is Pierre Bezier. And then he invented this curve is actually to designing the automobile bodies. And then after doing some research, we know that this kind of Bezier curve are widely used in computer graphics and animation. Okay, now let's have a look on the Bernstein polynomial. So the Bernstein polynomial is actually a polynomial which is in a Bernstein form, that is linear combination of Bernstein basis polynomial in mathematical subject of numerical analysis. And then, however, the Bernstein polynomial is limited to the interval of x element to 0 to 1. And this can make it became useful in the form of Bezier curve with the advanced computer graphics. We already know the Bernstein polynomial. Now we are going to look at the properties of the Bernstein polynomial. So the first one is the partition of unity, which is the Bernstein polynomial is for degree n up to 1. And then we have the positivity, which is on the interval 0 to 1. The Bernstein polynomial are non-negative. And then we have a symmetry, which is the graph is a reflection. And then the last one is the recursion, which is the polynomial of degree n minus 1 can be used to represent the Bernstein polynomial of degree n. After the properties of the Bernstein polynomial, and we are going to understand what is the Descartes-Jau algorithm. So the Descartes-Jau algorithm is a technique for evaluating polynomial in Bernstein form or Bezier curve. So this technique can also split a single Bezier curve into 2 at any parameter value. Although by using this Descartes-Jau algorithm might take a slower time, but it is numerically stable. The last part of the background theory is the computer-aided geometric design, which is synonymally we call it as CAGD. So the computer-aided geometrical design, CAGD, is a way of analyzing and managing geometric data in computer. So this CAGD has a wide range of applications in engineering, including large data set visualization. So in this study, we know that computer can assist designers with tasks such as calculation, data storage, and drawing. We know that the leaf shape is complicated with lobes of the variable length, curvatures, and folds. So to effectively stimulate this geometry, a technique that can be used or can handle is the higher order degree curve, which is in 2 directions is required. So several surface generating approach of CAGD can be used to create leaf surface. So there is also a previous research which is this CAGD being used to create the ceramic vase by using Bezier curve. We are moving to the second part of the literature review, which is the specific cases for Bezier curve, which is the first one is the linear Bezier curve. So in order to obtain the result, so we need to find the 2 points to be linked, then we can obtain the curve. And then we have the quadratic Bezier curve, which is we have 3 points in order to get the curve. And then we have the higher order Bezier curve, which is we need to find 4 points for degree 3, 5 points for degree 4, and 6 points for degree 5. Last part of the literature review, which is the application of the Bezier curve. So the first one is the computer graphics, the second one is the animation, the third one is font, and the last one is the medical imaging. So for the computer graphics, so we all know that many designers and many engineers use Bezier curve in computer graphics. Why? This is because when it comes to drawing by hand is actually employed at a designing idea stage, and then the traditional way of writing or drawing is actually influenced by the person's habit of writing or drawing. So the curve that being generated is not perfect like by using the Bezier curve. Okay, the second one is the animation. So we all know that this application, which is sketch a doodle, so this application also using the Bezier curve in order to generate the curve. And then the third one is the font. So a Chinese font, which is not similar to the alphabet, which is it have line and curve. So in order for the computer to generate this curve, it also use the Bezier curve to generate this curve into the computer. And then the last one is the medical imaging. So for the medical imaging, the purpose of this study is actually to for the medicines, like scanning for disease in our body, and then provide the medicines.
So next is NB1 curve. So Wu Hong's initial research on NB1 and NB2 was done in year 2000. Yudan and Chen Xinmeng presented the NB1 curve basic function and their characteristic in 2007. The main characteristic of the techniques are adaptability, universality, and simplification. Programmers can decrease computation progress errors and time wastage. So these are the bases of the NB1 curve that can be presented as follows.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azri bin Hanafi and I'm from N4 CS2486B. And now I will explain about the methodology. This chapter is representing the methodology design to model the shape of the leaf and to fulfill all the objectives of this research study. There are few steps that are used in this process, and the following is the research flowchart. Okay, now I will explain the step 1 of this methodology, which is collecting data and draw the 3 types of leaf on graph paper to find curve and point. There are 3 types of leaf that are chosen to be analyzed in this research. The first one is the Kaffir lime leaf, the second one is Chinese banyan leaf, and the last one is Kobesh tree leaf. The tree leaf have significantly different type of surface and size, and also its curvature. These 3 types of leaf also enhance us to explore the accuracy of the model generated using the described algorithm. The leaves were collected and measured in shape and curve after being photographed. Leaves were photographed on the graph paper. This method being used to define the curve of the leaf. In addition, that method had a lot in sketching process, so it will turn out into the best structure of the leaf. The step 2 is derive the formula. We need to derive the Bezier curve and NB1 curve formula for degree 2 until degree 4. The formula that we will get will be using into MATLAB to generate the pattern of leaf. Okay, for step 3, we need to compute and analyze data using MATLAB. From the formula that we get from step 2, we insert the data for the Bezier curve and NB1 curve for degree 2 until degree 4. The picture below are the example coding for Bezier and NB1 curve. Okay, now I will continue with the result and discussion. After go through all the process, this one is the output generated by using MATLAB, which is on the left side is by Bezier curve and on the right side is NB1 curve. Okay, now I will continue with the result and discussion. So from all the comparison that we made, we find out that the degree 4 of Bezier curve is the best to represent all the leaf pattern. The 3 picture is the output for degree 4 of Bezier curve. In a nutshell, we can conclude that Bezier curve have a lot in generated the leaf pattern. We can clearly validate that the result or outcome after modeling with MATLAB produce the shape of the real leaf that we have picked. The higher the degree of the curve, the more similar the leaf to the real one. Clearly, the curve will decrease for produce the best shape of the leaf.